Hello, welcome to the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. I am Jay, joined by Ben, and a special guest, Ollie, again is back. How are we, guys?
Incredibly ill, but getting there. Fucking hay fever.
I feel her.
The sun is out and I'm allergic.
Yeah, I live by a park, so I literally, whenever I leave the house, just start sneezing. That's fun.
So I was ill over the weekend, which sucked because it was like I had 2 days off for the first time in like 4 weeks, and I was ill for one of them. But
Awesome.
but yesterday we went to see Thunderbolts and then had some delicious food, and that made me feel better. So there we go.
Yeah. Apparently it didn't make me feel better because I fell down the stairs and sprained my ankle this morning. But
You can't blame that on a film. That's just you being a clumsy motherfucker.
I meant the Indian food, but there we go.
Yeah, no, you were too busy thinking about Sebastian Stan's beautiful face, and then you just fell down the stairs.
I was in a fugue state because Sebastian Stan shaved his head, and I was upset about it. That's what's happened. But yeah, we're here to talk about the month of wrestling as we usually are. So should we get into the Owen first, because we now know what the finals are going to be?
Yeah, that's been like the big, in light of like there being a pay-per-view, because like we've picked a really weird week to record because it's like too far away from Dynasty to talk about what happened there, but it's also like too far to Double or Nothing that we don't know really what's happening in Double or Nothing, except for the two Owen final matches, which we can get to. Should we run down like what's happened in the tournament, or do we want to just go straight to the finals?
Let's go through that. So we had two matches on the pay-per-views, didn't we? Which was Mercedes versus Julia Hart, and was it Ospreay and Kevin Knight?
Yes.
Yeah. Which
that was Kevin Knight coming in hot. It was meant to be Jay White, but he got injured again. Sucks for him. Please get well soon, Jay. Come back. We miss you. We love you. Bring Juice with you. We miss him as well.
I miss Juice so much.
Feel like pure shit. Just want Juice Robinson back.
Yeah. And yeah, they were both really good matches. I think for me, the match of the tournament, it's going to be one of two matches, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's either going to be Mercedes and Athena or Ospreay and Takeshita, depending how you look at it. Or a little dark horse, Hangman and Carl Fletcher.
It depends what mood you're in. Hangman Fletcher banged. Brody King, Takeshita banged.
Yeah.
Briscoe Fletcher banged.
I mean, Alexander even got himself a good introduction. Like, even though he lost, like he made a good name for himself for people who might not be as well known in AEW. You know, against Adam Page.
Yeah, the debut of Josh Alexander. So I've never been like the highest on Josh Alexander. I thought he's always felt a bit dry, and like his matches are very technically good, but they've never really like stirred my soul. But then him and Hangman within 5 minutes were jumping over the crowd at each other, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm fucking in.
I take it you've seen Collision this week as well.
I haven't. No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen. I've seen the ending of the match he has with Brody King, and apparently it absolutely fucks. But
that match was fantastic.
Yeah.
I really liked like the introduction he had against Page, and then the immediate like turn on him at the end of it, and like him going straight into the Don Callis family. Like they've made use of Alexander. Like he's not obviously gone straight into like the world title because he's his former TNA world champion, but like he's in there with the likes of Adam Page. He's there with Don Callis. You know, he's there alongside Kyle Fletcher. Like it's been a really nice introduction, I think, for people into AEW for him.
My only criticism is AEW perpetuating the heinous myth that if you are bald, you are evil.
I mean,
where's the lie?
I only know evil bald people. So yeah, I think it's right. Especially if you look at Ricochet as well. He stabbed the man with some scissors.
Where's the lie?
Well, exactly. And Bobby Fish is also now bald. Now you said that.
Oh God, he is, isn't he? Oh fuck! I need to find some hair real quick.
You just book a holiday to Turkey, Ben. You'll be fine.
No, next time we see him on this podcast, he's got the old Kurt Angle wrestling gear wig underneath.
I hope that happens. That would make my day. But yeah, I'm trying to think what other matches we've had in it.
I mean, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander was a fucking treat.
Yes.
Like they slapped the shit out of each other in that match.
I mean, Jamie Hayter, Billy Starks was fantastic as well. I really enjoyed that.
Athena Harley Cameron as well.
Harley had a good showing against Athena, didn't she?
Yeah. Harley Cameron's become like weirdly like the most sympathetic babyface in like all of wrestling, and I don't quite know how she's managed it, but it's incredible.
Weirdly, it started with Paige of all things. Like her run with Paige they had together kind of spurred this on in a way, like going into the Monet trade and all of like the amazing backstage bits he's been doing with the singing, the ventriloquism. Like Ollie, like it was to the point where you all wanted her to beat Monet for the fucking title.
People legitimately wanted her to beat Mercedes Monet, myself included.
It just solidifies the fact that everything's better with Muppets.
Yes.
That puppet's fucking over, man. That puppet's got.
They should be selling that puppet. If they're not selling that puppet, they need to be selling the fucking puppet.
Some guy who makes puppets has started making them, and he apparently all the proceeds go to charity for it as well.
Oh, amazing!
So yeah, like because he said, because AEW haven't put anything out with it, I'm going to just do it myself. And Mercedes and Harley have given it the blessing to, as long as it's all going to charity, to just do that. So that's pretty cool. I'll try and find a link for that and put it in the description of this, because yeah,
I think that is a criticism of AEW, is they don't, when they get something like hot merch wise, they don't jump on it.
As someone who collects wrestling masks, I would have bought the shit out of Lucha Brothers masks off them and Dark Order masks off them.
Now you can get those Lucha Brother masks.
I'm not paying WWE any money. They will not be receiving any money off me.
Does it mean you don't want to give TKO more money so they can like fire all your favorite wrestlers?
Or buy up all the other companies?
I mean, knowing that the money that people are given has gone towards giving Alberto Del Rio a new contract, I'm okay.
Oh no.
This was the one thing we didn't want to happen.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy WWE merchandise, but if you did, you're directly funded Alberto Del Rio.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So put that on your fucking conscience. I'm sure that vintage Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt was worth it.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to be buying any shit off them.
I mean, he said he was going to be back in the company this year, and would you look at that?
He has been saying for a while, I'm coming back, guys. And we all laugh.
Hey, he is back on the alumni page. They've put him back on that alumni page this week.
I mean, wait until they had a AAA roster page or NXT Mexico, as it's called now.
Are they going to keep the cocaine commentators? That's the only question.
I mean, that's the thing that makes AAA. I want a shot of the commentary table with a load of like finished off lines, just like residue on the next to one of the commentators while the others blade, and that's what I want.
So is the ultimate crossover now Father James Mitchell doing cocaine with the commentators from AAA?
It's a matter of, on an
NXT show.
I think Billy Corgan
shits himself in the background
while Vampiro's screaming that they're not playing his music, so he's refusing to do a running.
Oh, thank God there's still CMLL.
Yeah. To be fair, they've got a lot of good stuff going on.
I mean, there's the Arena Mexico at AEW, right? Like, that's going to be an absolutely banger of a show.
Which sold out.
Yeah, it did. It did sell out.
Well done for that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because isn't there a New Japan and CMLL show as well the day before or the day after?
I think it sounds about right for that time of year, isn't it? They tend to do the.
They do Fantastica Mania.
That's what I was looking for.
They usually do it in Japan in February and then in Mexico later in the year.
Well, speaking of which, do you think this year we could see some CMLL influence in Forbidden Door?
Absolutely.
I mean, we literally got it last year because we saw Hechicero wrestle Zack Sabre Jr. the day before Forbidden Door.
I was so mad Hechicero wasn't in that Casino Battle Royal or Casino Gauntlet.
Would have popped so hard for that one.
Hechicero was the most over man in a Zack Sabre Jr. match in London, which says a lot, really.
Yeah, so speaking of Forbidden Door, tickets have gone on sale for Forbidden Door. Apparently they're selling very well.
I think it's sold out.
Is it sold out? Oh shit! I'm
pretty sure it's sold out. Yeah, yeah. Thankfully we got ours. Looking forward to that. I do have a very. I said to you yesterday, Ben. I do have a very, very bold prediction for this, and it's probably not going to happen now. I'm saying it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think Takeshita wins the G1 and then challenges the world champ at Forbidden Door.
Ooh.
Because they timed literally it's timed like a week apart, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, it just kind of makes sense. Either that or Zack Sabre Jr. does it. But either way, I'd like to catch the two, because that'll make me happy.
I mean, if Zack Sabre Jr. is not a big part of the first UK Forbidden Door, then they've fucked something up.
I'll say AEW Forbidden Door's not quite sold out yet, because
it
I
not?
was just clicking right onto the web because I haven't got tickets yet. And you said that, I was like, oh shit. So no, it's not sold out yet.
So I'm just ordering mine now.
Why would Tony Khan do this?
But there doesn't seem to be many left. Looking on Ticketmaster, the scum that is Ticketmaster, there isn't that many left.
Yeah, I know. I know as well. Like they'll release some more like close to the day of, won't they? Because when they've cleared like all the production shit out, so chances are there might be some more tickets on the day as well.
I'd be shocked if it does not sell out. But considering the limited amount of tickets that seems to be left on Ticketmaster's website, yeah, this is going to be a banger of a show. Like, the crowd is going to be incredible.
It's a smaller venue down from Wembley, isn't it? So, like, obviously, if only like say 2/3 of the people who went to Wembley last year want to go to Forbidden Door, it'll still sell out quite easily.
Yes,
absolutely.
And it's Forbidden Door. It's like all your favourites, all the stars are here.
All of the stars, yeah. I'm intrigued about who's going to be champions, because New Japan have started really pushing the shit out of Callum Newman, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, you can see all your favourite New Japan stars like Takeshita and Aussie Open and
presumably Tanahashi's last match in the London.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was making a joke that all the New Japan guys are now in
AEW. Yeah. Hey, no, Kevin Knight's still in New Japan. He has a signed double contract.
Takeshita's got 2 contracts. He's going to be there.
What about the future winner of Best of the Super Juniors, Nick Wayne?
Yes.
God, I'd love it if Nick Wayne won Best of the Super. He won't.
Evil might be there. We could see Evil.
No, thank you.
Well, they have finally split the House of Torture.
They have finally ended House of Torture for good. Well,
civil war that went on for years,
literal years.
Felt like,
because everyone kept leaving the company and House of Torture was still there.
I tell you who you won't be seeing at Forbidden Door is Jeff Cobb, because he is gone.
He's gone to WWE.
Yeah.
Oh well, he said Jeff Cobb's retired, which probably means he's getting a new name.
Means Matanza is back, baby.
I'd kind of slap for that. Like that ride in Lucha Underground.
Did you see he put a picture up of because he did I think he did an MLW show and they had Matanza Cueto on it as well.
Really?
And they basically were in a rumble together, and he put a picture up saying I told you I wasn't Matanza Cueto. Like, you were though. You did sacrifices to the
Jeff
gods.
Cobb's 42 years old.
He's an old man. Well, not an old man, but
I mean, hopefully they don't keep him in NXT for too long.
I reckon he'll probably go to the main roster, and they'll probably, I don't know, feed him to Jacob Fatu, which will be fine. All I really want to know is how much Shinsuke Nakamura is enjoying surfing, because that's all he does.
True.
He comes back, he does a 2-month run, and then he goes off again. Like,
he comes back more spooky than ever. Every time he looks like more and more spooky. And then he wins the US title for tradition's sake, and then fucks off.
Speaking of more spooky, I know we don't talk about WWE because fuck WWE, but did you see that Aleister Black turned up and did a really bad Black Mass on the Miz?
I did. They literally did the angle almost identical to when he debuted in AEW.
Except it was like multiple times worse because the Miz is like 1/10 of the rest of the Cody is.
Because the Miz was in it.
And hey, I've got nothing against the Miz. Like if you can go from being like literally a Big Brother contestant to being a serviceable professional wrestler, then fair play to you. But
yeah,
because don't Aleister Black in the year of our Lord 2025 could not carry the Miz, not on his broken back.
No,
the man can't even lie down for 3 seconds. How the fuck can he carry the Miz?
I heard he got surgery in his back to be able to move a bit better now. But yeah,
he could always lift the shoulder, mate. Don't worry about that.
That's true. But yeah, that angle was literally like, even down to the fact that Miz was wearing the same suit that Cody was wearing.
Really?
It was like, what are we doing here, lads? Yeah. I'm hoping that once Buddy's back, Hounds of Hell get a decent run though, because that'd be nice.
Yeah.
It's nice seeing Brody King and Julia Hart like back doing stuff. Like,
yeah.
I know King obviously lost to Kesha, but that was a banging match, and like I would like to see like a Brody King kind of like a TNT title run, or something along those lines. Give him a little bit of like a.
I think he should win the C2 this year.
Oh, I'd be all up for that. Absolutely all up for that.
So my favorite Brody King fact is like, so Julia Hart did an interview like a year or so ago where she was saying like about all the people in AEW that she like hangs out with, and she like apparently she says like Brody and his wife are like her like big brother and sister, and they look out for her. And he's like, oh, she was like, oh yeah, the other week I got locked out of my car and Brody helped me. Which, and now I've just got an image of Brody King just ripping the door off her car.
Either that or just like punching through the glass.
Yeah,
through the real glass.
I would very much like to be friends with Brody King. It would mean a lot to me.
I like the fact that every time Brody King does an interview, he like suggests a match that he really wants, and then Tony Khan reads it and gives us it. So like he said about the Okada one, and we got Okada. He's just today he said he wants to wrestle Samoa Joe, and I'm like, yeah, please give me that match. I need that match. Like I need
that would be insane.
Yeah.
So he did an episode. He did AEW Unrestricted a while back, which is like it's their podcast. They do like once a week with who does it now? Is it?
It's Aubrey Will, isn't it?
And Will, yeah.
And then you got because RJ City does the other one, doesn't he?
He does AEW.
No, AEW, yeah. But so Sarah was listening to it one time, and I came in and she'd been working from home. She had it on like on her phone, and I was listening. And I came in like halfway through, so I didn't know who it was, and I was just listening to go. This sounds a lot like Samoa Joe. And it turned out it was Brody King because he started talking then about how Samoa Joe was like his biggest influence when he was starting out in the business.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Samoa Joe, Wardlow, and Brody King all have the same voice.
Yeah,
if you close your eyes, and guess you got Samoa Joe's a bit more shouty, isn't he? Which is ironic considering Brody King's a singer of a metal band. But here we are.
Yeah.
Speaking of Joe, who have you got for the cage match next week? Because that's going to be a banger.
I'd love it if Samoa Joe won it.
I would love it too.
Because I'm so very, very, very bored of the Death Riders.
I mean, can Samoa Joe save us from 2 bad title reigns in the space of 2 years?
That's what they usually do. Like Samoa Joe's like the hard reset, isn't he? Like
he's at the fixer. It's like Joe, go and get in there and just fucking save this shit.
It's like, oh god, this story's not working, and everyone fucking hates it. Joe, can you just kill that man and follow me? Yeah, I think Mox is probably going to win. I think, although I do, I think there's something quite poetic about Hangman beating Joe for the title because that's what Swerve did.
So in my head, I've talked myself in. I've convinced myself that Hangman is going to beat Moxley, and if it doesn't, I'll be furious with myself.
So I take it that means you think Hangman's winning the men's. Owen?
Yeah, I think Will's getting the bell rung.
I hope so. I really hope so.
I mean, come on, like you said yesterday, Will Ospreay loves to lose. He fucking adores
He does love losing. He's like Bryan Danielson in that sense. Who have you got, Ollie?
See, I like that this has come down to because I was worried it was going to come down to Ospreay versus Fletcher again. Not that I don't love their matches, but like we literally had them doing the flip off the cage. Like, let's give Ospreay versus Fletcher a little bit of breathing space before they go at it again. So I'm glad it's come down to essentially the 2 main characters of AEW and Page versus Ospreay. And I've kind of gone back and forth because obviously everyone thought Ospreay's going to win it in Wembley last year. Didn't happen. Or it's going to be Ospreay's there this year. But at the same time, I kind of want Page to finish his story, to I guess, to steal that phrase. You know what I mean? Like, Page has gone on an arc from the Swerve feud from last year, kind of like, and in like the last month or two, kind of like those little teases with Swerve and with Nana being, and like there's that redemption coming, and it's like, oh god, Hangman, I kind of want him to do it. So you have got Hangman versus Mox, and Hangman. I guess I kind of want Hangman to win. I think I thought it was going to be Ospreay, but like I think I do want Hangman to kind of beat him and go for because who's better to beat the Death Riders than the guy who's been there from the start and can redeem himself in a way.
And him and Mox have got history as well. They've had
like they've had some fucking brutal matches together.
Also, like other than that, was it the 4-way they had at World's End?
Mm-hmm.
Hangman and Mox haven't like crossed paths since, have they?
No.
Like Hangman just diverted off into the MJF storyline, and then Mox has been.
There's then the little teases with like Swerve when Swerve was going for the title, and then if you do have Hangman beat Ospreay, and you've kind of got Swerve in the background, I can have seen a bunch of people talk about it. Do the Hangman Swerve tag team against the Death Riders?
Well, there was talk about it being Young Bucks versus Swerve and Hangman at All In.
Yeah, or that as well.
But I think there's nothing more poetic than a cowboy winning the world title in Texas.
Yeah,
Imagine the Hangman entrance at Texas for the title.
If he doesn't come out on a fucking horse with a cowbell, dressed like Stan Hansen, I'll be so angry.
does he come out to his old music again? Does he feel like do you go back to the old, like his original music from AEW, or do you like do something? Because I know he's done a couple, like he's had a couple of songs in the past, hasn't he, that he's used rather than like his current theme.
I would, if for All In, if I could pick anything, I would pick Ghost Riders on the Storm.
Yeah,
because that was fucking incredible when he did that.
Was that the Kenny match as well?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the. It was just a random. Well, it wasn't a random match. It was one of it. I think it was a death match. He came out for. It might have been his death match against Moxley. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh really? For some reason, I didn't remember when
he hung Moxley. That was fucking great.
So good. I'd like him to come out to his current music still because I do really like that music. That said, if he does the full face turn and comes out to the music he did with that Dark Order entrance, that'd be incredible.
Yeah. Because you saw it with the MJF tease, right? MJF came out to his old music in their feud for the brief, the stinger at the start,
and everyone got excited.
Yeah,
it's the old Hangman. Yeah.
Anxious Millennial Cowboy is back.
Sorry, Faye's not here, so I feel compelled to suggest on her behalf that if he's going full face for All In, he should come out to a live performance from Chapel Roan.
Yeah. Faye has been campaigning for that. You see, the thing is, I wouldn't want Hangman to be the person to have that kind of an entrance. I'd want it to be Brody King because I know he'd enjoy it more.
He would.
He'd be so happy about it. But yeah, I think Hangman should be the guy to dethrone Mox at this point. He's, as we said, he's the main character of AEW, isn't he?
I wouldn't be opposed to Ospreay, but I do think I've got some more emotions in Adam Page going for it versus Ospreay. I think Ospreay I just like to fucking see win it.
At this point, does it feel like the ship might have sailed on Darby?
I mean, we don't know if he's coming back from Everest yet, so...
Yeah, he's just done a kickflip on Everest, so...
But it feels like if he came back now with, no build, because he's not been in the company for, months, it feels like it'd feel a bit out of...
If Darby had managed to do Everest last year, I'd say this would be the year for Darby, and you could have Darby go after the title with Sting in his corner and do that whole fucking thing. Darby and Sting against the Death Riders. I'd be all here for it. However, he decided to go with Everest this year, which props to the guy. It was his dream to do it last year. He couldn't do it. He's committed to doing it this year. However, it has fucked over some of AEW storylines.
Yeah. Because he wouldn't... Would he be back for All In? I don't think he would.
He probably, I hopes to assume he'd be off the mountain, but whether he's actually going to be in fucking ring shape, because I don't see him fucking training on Mount. Well, he just did a kickflip of Everest, so fuck knows what he's doing up there. He could cough and drop at the top of it.
I mean,
so is Everest do you have to come down slowly? Is it like diving or something? If you come down too fast, will your heart explode or something?
I
think there are stories of the descent going wrong for people.
Yeah, I think it's more of just the. Because obviously
dangerous. It's just a fucking
because it's the air pressure, isn't it, as well?
That's what I mean. Would you get the bends or something if you come down too fast?
Possibly. I mean, knowing Darby, he probably wants to jump off the top on a fucking flight suit and just sail his way down. But yeah, who knows?
Who have you got for the women's one? Hater versus Monet.
Oh, that's such a tricky one, isn't it? It's so hard to call.
I can go. I'm 50-50 on this one as well.
I'm 50-50.
Who do I want to win is Jamie Hayter.
Mm.
Because I love Jamie Hayter with all of my soul. But I don't see I'm not saying that. So I've really enjoyed Mercedes in AEW. I think she had a bit of a sort of not rocky start, but it took her a while to find the groove, and now she has, and she's putting on incredible matches.
She's had 3 match of the years already this year, if not 4. Her and I, we brought it up, Mercedes versus Athena earlier. They need to repeat that match.
Yes. Mercedes
that did not feel like that was a one and done thing. You could do Mercedes beat the ROH Women's Champion. Mercedes been going on up being a belt collector, right?
Yeah.
goes for Athena, beats Athena for the RH title, then Athena beats Mercedes back again later for the rest. Like, you could do something like I need to see that match again. I need to see a trilogy of those matches.
Yeah. Mercedes said she wants to do it on do the rematch on a pay-per-view. So
yeah.
And to be fair, All In's Athena's home state, it would be very cool for Athena if they did that rematch at All In.
Mm-hmm.
It'd probably steal the show with what's kind of been like rumored to be on the show.
But then, how do you get to a point where? So if Jimmy Hayter beats Mercedes a double or nothing, how do you get to a point where Mercedes loses that without? Do you just have Hayter win clean, or do you have some sort of fuckery, or do you have?
I do not know. I think it would. So my only issue with Jamie Hayter going into this is she feels like she's kind of been cooled down a little bit recently.
I mean, she just won like 3 tournaments in a row.
Well, that's what I mean. Up until the tournament, she feels like she kind of been cooled down a little bit.
But you have got what they've really weirdly done with this, and they've given you time between the finals. Like, they're giving you time between now and the finals taking place to kind of heat them back up, and then obviously it's not happening until Double or Nothing. So it's like they've got in effect like 2-3-ish months to really fucking heat them up, because like All In's July, and that's where they're having their title shots, right?
Yeah. But the other side of it I'm looking at as well, more from like a business standpoint, is that Mercedes versus Tony Storm's the match that would shift probably the most tickets for All In.
That's it. Pardon the pun, a money match.
It is a money match. And I'll also look at when. So it was just after Revolution when Tony mentioned Mercedes, but like not by name, and everyone like lost their shit. And then they had that little stare down a couple of weeks ago, and everyone like again was like.
But counterpoint, Tony Storm was the person who took the belt off Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, she was.
So there's a story there. I mean, it's not.
And she didn't win it clean at all, did she?
No.
Whereas Jamie beat Tony clean, sort of. But yeah, I think both are very compelling matches, to be fair. But I think because it is the big stadium show, it's probably going to be Mercedes versus Tony.
I think Mercedes will probably win it. I'm just a bit concerned that concerned is the wrong word. I think the longer Mercedes goes without losing, the more of a thing it becomes, and the more difficult it becomes to like see a way in which she can lose in a way that doesn't like make it weird, if that makes sense.
But I think that's why you have to do like I think that's why going to lead into Tony's the big thing, right? Because he doesn't get much bigger in AEW than the Women's World Championship. So like, I think maybe Athena's the one to dethrone her after that. I don't know. I just want to see that match again.
Yeah.
So would that be like, if Mercedes does beat Jamie, and then is that like, because every time we have a belt collector gimmick happen with Kenny, happen with FTR, there's like a turning point, isn't there, where they start to lose the titles, and like there's a sort of moment where it all starts to go wrong for them. Like, is the Tony Storm match that for Mercedes, where she gets that's like the bridge too far, Tony beats her, does Tony even need to beat her? I mean, I don't know.
I don't think Tony should be the person to give Mercedes her first loss in AEW.
I want it to be Athena. Like, they did the semi-final match. Like I was saying, like you could do like Death Before Dishonor or something like that. Mercedes beating Athena, right? So maybe Mercedes is the one that takes on Athena's World Championship or Ring of Honor Championship.
And then Supercard of Honor Double or Nothing weekend as well.
So like. There's a story there that Athena could be chasing back that victory, because that's Athena's first loss in fucking, like, you know, like the Women's World Champion, the forever champion, lost.
It's her first singles loss in about 2.5 years, I believe.
So like, there is a story there that Athena can be like, all right, you beat me, I'm taking your titles.
Yeah. I'd like all that. I do very much want us to have a Athena dethrone and Mercedes eventually.
I mean, if Athena beats Mercedes and like her sort of first big match back on the main roster in AEW, that's a hell of a way to put her right back at the top of the card, isn't it? It really makes her seem like a huge deal. If she takes TBS title off her, boom, instant like superstar credibility.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Supercard of Honor's been pushed back.
Oh, right.
I
know that they're doing it. Are they doing a show all in weekend?
They're doing so they're doing that Action Dean 2 on Double or Nothing weekend, which they haven't said out. You can watch that yet. I'd very much like to watch it because it's got CMLL talent, AEW talent, and action wrestling talent, which will be cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I'm just having a look now to see when that's been moved to. Pass. No idea. Shall we talk about mystery wrestling and break Ollie's brain, Ben?
I think we should. We'll run through it quickly so that we're not like just yabbering about. So, Ollie, are you aware of Mystery Wrestling? Are you aware of the concept?
It's a name that I have heard mentioned. It's is it Uno's thing?
Yeah,
It
so
is.
it's Evil Uno's promotion.
Yep.
It takes place in Gatineau, Quebec, Canada, in like a little basically church hall, basically.
Yeah, it's a tiny little Superdome.
Yeah, and it's the gimmick is that like they don't really announce the matches before the show. So if you've seen Mystery Vortex, like the PW Mystery Vortex, it's a little bit like that. It's also a little bit like Chikara because it's very silly. And
I assumed it would be. It's Evil Uno's promotion.
Yeah, as someone who loved like most of what Chikara was without all like the abuse and stuff, it's right up my alley because it's fucking batshit. And the other gimmick is he has like one, normally an AEW roster member, but not always. But he has one other wrestler doing co-commentary with him like every episode.
Yeah, he's had a couple of YouTubers as well. Like he had Dan Reichert and he had Justin Wang on there on previous shows. On this one, he had John Silver, and for the first time, we got a musical number from a commentator. The show opened with John Silver very drunkenly singing "Time to Say Goodbye." In the ring,
Incredible.
and then they threw everyone threw roses into the ring, and gave him a bouquet of flowers, and then he just walked to the commentary table. It was very chaotic, and it didn't really let up, did it? It was just
No.
So the only announced wrestler on the card was Darius Martin, and he was in. So every mystery wrestling show opens with a fatal four-way where all the wrestlers in the match are dressed as druids, so you can't see who it is. And then these one by one reveal each other. So
that's fun.
My favourite one of them was Speedball was in it, and before he took the hood down, he kicked his shoes off, and everyone lost their shit because he realised it's probably Speedball. But yeah, they had Darius Martin against Amir Jordan, LJ Cleary, and Vaughn Vertigo. That was absolute banger. It was just flippy as fuck. Darius won with the Border City Stretch, did you?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Little Alex Shelley shout out, but yeah, really good match.
Another sort of staple of mystery wrestling that is very nice if you're an old school AEW fan is you get to see Stu Grayson have an absolute bastard of a match against someone with him and the other fella just hit each other dead hard.
Yeah, like they'll sometimes announce like someone and you'll look at it and go, well, that's Stu's opponent. And like at the last show, they had the show before this one, they had Gabe Kidd, and it was like, well, he's wrestling Stu.
Yeah, no, that's a good match.
And they just beat the shit out of each other for 15 minutes.
They did. They announced Dijak for one, and he wrestled Stu. So yeah, it was all.
It's just Uno going Stu when he wrestled the most meanest bastards ever.
Pretty much,
but I'm going to put you through the ringer.
Pretty much, like he had in the world title tournament he did in January. He had a match against Michael Oku, which was really good. And then a match against Cruel after, which was just Stu getting murdered by a gigantic man. And yeah, it was a nice time. Well, except for Stu. We then had, speaking of Stu Grayson wrestled Connor Mills, who, if you're unfamiliar with Connor Mills, very good British wrestler.
Again, hard as fucking nails.
He's absolutely hard as nails. He did a lot of grotty arm bars on Stu and kicked him a lot. Then there was Drea Mitchell versus Katrina Reed. That was not much going on with that really. Really was there. It was just the first half of the show was just bangers.
It was a
really fun match.
It was a weirdly straight match.
The best part of it was Katrina Creed coming out and John Silver had an I Love Creed shirt on and stood up and went, "That's my guy!" And she looked so pissed off at John Silver.
John Silver was absolutely sozzled. He
was drinking on commentary, which is what you love to see. Next, and this was just before the intermission, which we do need to talk about because of some of the antics on that. We had the first silly match. So it was the newly formed team of the Ass Blasters, Cecil Nix and London Lightning. They've had like a big feud going through where it ended up in a literal death match, where London Lightning had to kill his future self because he looks like RJ City, and they had RJ City on commentary. So they did that whole thing because
I remember hearing about that and seeing bits of it, being like, what is this?
Yeah, so he had to kill his future self to stop Cecil Nix becoming a martyr. But now, now London Lightning is realised he's on borrowed time, so he wants to make the most of it. So they eventually become a tag team, and said they were called the Ass Blasters.
It's a very sort of Sheamus and Cesaro sort of.
Yeah.
Oh, it totally sounds as serious as Sheamus and Cesaro.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that because the Ass Blasters' opponents were the team of Xander Orion and Cecil Nix, the Space Sluts. So Cecil was basically on both teams.
And at the start of this match, Xander Orion was described as the guy with the actual abs.
Yeah. He looked like he was too big for all his clothes. But yeah, very, very fun when it was Xander and London doing bits, and Xander, whenever Cecil tagged in against his other partner, they were like, "What are you doing?" There was a bit where Cecil hot tagged himself, and then wrestled himself for about 10 minutes, including spiking himself on top of his head and and giving himself a superplex.
Amazing.
Yeah, then the Space Sluts picked up the win because Cecil pinned himself.
Sure.
Yeah, it was absolutely batshit insane. After the match, London Lightning turned on Cecil Nix, and for the first time in Mystery Wrestling history, we've got a match announced for the next show, which is a loser leaves Mystery Wrestling match. London Lightning versus Cecil Nix, and I'm sad about that because they're two of my favourites. Then they went to the reason I said we need to talk about the intermission was because John Silver was basically talking about the hot dogs they have on sale there. For the whole of like the tag match, he was like, "Oh, those look like good hot dogs. I might go get one of those hot dogs." He went to the hot dog stand and he got a beer. He said I didn't have time to eat the hot dog. It was like, you had 20 minutes, John. So instead he got a beer. He met Evil Uno's mum, he said, and he just got drunk with her. And then the next match was the hot dog vendor, Franklin Mayer, who actually works the hot dog stand, against a fucking
I've looked. Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of like I saw in Cage Match this show, and all I could see is just a singles match. A bear defeats Franklin Mayer. I'm like, the bear doesn't have a thing on Cage Match. They just got a fucking bear. What's going on?
So they got a guy in a bear suit.
Okay.
And then for some reason, Franklin Mayer introduced a bag of white powder into the match.
It's because the bear was too docile. It kept trying
because the bear was trying to sleep. So he created a cocaine bear. And
then the ref also then got hooked on the cocaine.
The ref got hooked on the cocaine as well. Had a fight with the bear over the cocaine. And
the bear went full bear then and like just fucked Franklin Mayer up and beat him.
And the bear won by...
You don't give bears cocaine.
No, the bear won by doing a pedigree after doing a load of cocaine off Franklin Mayer's back.
This bear needs to fulfill Bryan Danielson's wish of wrestling a bear, and then this would be magic.
Give me that. I would love Bryan Danielson in Mystery Wrestling because he'd do the most stupid match.
He comes back and wrestles this bear because he's always wanted to wrestle a bear.
He'd literally do the most stupid match he could, and it'd be amazing.
So before we move on, shout out to the bear as well. So at the end of the show, Evil Uno does like a post-show press conference, and he got the bear on the press conference.
Yeah. And he was the bear was just depressed because he was on the worst come down of his life from all of the cocaine he'd done.
Incredible.
Yeah. I did like as well the bear going into business for himself and Uno getting really angry and saying he was going to dock him his pay. Yeah, next we had the last serious match for the Loot 7 title. McRae Martin and Franklin Milano, who looks kind of like if Sami Zayn was a fighter pilot.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was fun.
This was actually technically a really good match.
Yeah, McRae Martin's like a really, really big guy, but he can fucking move. Like I'm surprised he hasn't been signed yet because he's quite good. But yeah, it was a really fun match. McRae won. And then we got on to the main event of the show, which might be my match of the year. Let's just say Enochiism is alive and well, lads. So Psycho Mike defending the mystery wrestling title against the Sasquatch in a low blow match. So the only way to win the match is by punching your opponent in the dick.
Did you say a Sasquatch?
Yep, the Sasquatch is one of the reoccurring characters in mystery wrestling.
I mean, I guess Sasquatches also have genitals, so I guess there's
Yeah.
that confirmed.
It was also
Yeah.
the Sasquatch is also kind of it was dressed as one of the it was dressed in Philadelphia Flyers colours for some reason.
Yeah, we don't know why, but he came out dressed like he was in a gang. But because normally he tags with a guy called Eli Serge, who's a conspiracy theorist who has gear that says birds aren't real. But he didn't do that today. But yeah, so basically, Psycho Mike was trying to he was trying to pick up the win in different ways. So at one point, Sasquatch was like just messing with his hair, and he tapped out, and the ref was like, "No submissions." Then Psycho Mike hit a body slam and went to pin him, and the ref was like, "You've got to hit him in the dick." And then
It was literally Mike's idea for this.
it was Mike's idea for this as well, yeah. Then there was a ref bump, and they repeatedly low blowed each other and did like a whole like the way you see in New Japan with chops, but they did that with low blows.
A yay booed with blows.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it was fucking incredible. Psycho Mike even did like a Marufuji low blow, which was fucking outstanding. To the point where they both basically just fell to the floor and were punching each other in the dick. And then the referee gets up, and Psycho Mike grabs the belt, goes to hit the Sasquatch with the belt, and the referee's like, "Mike, I'll disqualify you, you'll lose the belt." So Psycho Mike then says, "I may be a piece of shit, but I respect the rules," throws the belt to Sasquatch and punches him in the dick when Sasquatch catches the belt. Match of the year, 10 stars.
I was like, it's everything AJ Styles versus Nakamura was meant to be.
Absolutely. That's what it was envisioned as. Yes. Somewhere Road Dogg was just smiling about all those hits to the dick. But yeah, I genuinely one of my favorite wrestling shows of the entire year. That it was ludicrously silly, but also it's mystery wrestling, and I love it. What was your favorite part of that, Ben?
Oh man! So I'm a sucker for. I love me a bit of tag team wrestling. I'm a sucker for any time a guy has to wrestle himself. So the Cecil Nick's antics in the tag match really hit home for me. But I mean, the cocaine bear was fantastic. But basically, Psycho Mike Eddie Guerreroing Sasquatch so he could punch him in the dick was an absolute. Oh, it was so good. Psycho Mike, Psycho Mike is like, it's hard to describe Psycho Mike to someone who's not seen him wrestle.
Yeah,
he shouldn't work. But
he's so meta.
But he's just got so much like physical charisma that it's impossible not to like buy into what he's doing.
Yeah, so part of his gimmick is that his finishing move's the body slam. So part of his gimmick is he just says, "Who wants to see a body slam?" and everyone loses the shit, and then he goes for body slams.
He works the hard cam.
He works the hard cam where he'll do like an armbar and like be like just staring into the hard cam and turning them round and like not breaking his gaze with the hard cam. And then he just does a lot of like physical comedy. Like he got he got like chopped by the Sasquatch in this match and like did like some ridiculous back bump on the apron. It's like, Mike, you didn't need to do that.
He was standing on the floor and he fell backwards, hit the edge of the apron, and then bounced off.
Jesus.
But yeah, there is a free show of mystery wrestling on YouTube, and the main event is Orange Cassidy versus Psycho Mike. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Definitely kind of like gives you the first sort of like idea of what Psycho Mike's whole gimmick is, which is that he's just a piece of shit who loves body slamming people. But yeah, it's the next show is on the 1st of June. It's free on Twitch, on Evil Uno's Twitch. Starts 10 p.m. UK time, which is beautiful because
finishes around midnight. So it's
finishes
like
around midnight.
You're not in work like mad early on a Monday. It's a really good like Sunday night watch.
Yeah,
nice.
And Simon Miller's been announced for that one.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, he's wrestling, not commentating. Uno did mention as well the idea of at one point doing a hair versus mask match where the guy with a mask doesn't have a mask and the guy whose hair's on the line is bald. So I can see Simon Miller being in that match potentially.
Just so you know, Ollie, other matches that they've had have included Falls Count Somewhere, where you had to pin them in a very specific place that they didn't know about until they found it.
Yeah.
And
This is my kind of wrestling. Like, I've always seen clips and heard about it, but like, I need to get onto this properly.
and like the best 13 out of 14 falls. Where the first it was a tag match, and the first 5 falls were all for minor tag team infringements, like not holding onto the rope and knocking out of the ring before the 5 count.
Yeah. They also had a 10-minute extremely ruled Iron Man match, where everyone was getting disqualified for the littlest things. And that's where one of the most famous spots are on as well. So that was with London Lightning and Cecil Nix actually. So London does the Eddie Guerrero chair thing, and there's a door set up in the corner, and Cecil just throws himself through the door. It's outstanding. But yeah, just the silliest wrestling show around. I love it. There's a rumor, which it pretty much is just if Evil Uno can be bothered doing it at this point, I think. Of them potentially doing a Mystery Wrestling UK show Forbidden Door weekend.
That'd be very fun.
And I will literally go out of my way to go to that if they do it. But yeah, very, very fun. What have we got next on the agenda, Ben?
Well, should we talk about some sad news about some releases? Because there's been quite a few of them.
That has. And contracts expiring as well.
And contracts expiring on both sides, from both major companies. So should we run down the AEW ones first, because there's been less of them.
Yeah. While I get the list of WWE ones up as well.
Oh, I've got them here, don't worry.
Oh yeah, cool.
So from an AEW side, EJ Nduka his contract's expired and he's departed the company. I mean, I'm kind of a bit upset about that, because he seemed like a really good talent, but at the same time, he was probably never going to break into the sort of main roster in AEW. So if you can go onto the indies and tear it up, I think that'd be really good for him. Yeah,
he's started doing a big angle with West Side Guns promotion, the Heels of Eyes.
Yeah, good.
So he'll probably make a bit of a name for himself there, I imagine.
It feels like one of those ones where they've released him now, but give it a year or two, he'll be back.
Well, he's been training with Swerve, and he's been sort of around the right people, and he just needs to get his reps in, doesn't he? Which he's never going to get. The roster in AEW is it's like murderer's row, isn't it? It's like there's I mean, we talked about it before, but look at the Owen Cup. I mean, look at the matches we've had: Ospreay, Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher, Hangman Alexander, Hangman Fletcher, Will Ospreay, Kevin Knight. I mean, that's it's supposed to be so hard to break into that roster.
They could have easily done an entire additional, to both the men's and the women's. They could have done another round. Yeah. So you had 60. You had
it's doubled the field basically on in each tournament. Yeah, absolutely. And then one that's going to be a bit more upsetting, and one that I feel I take slightly more to heart, is the Righteous. Today, the Righteous have departed AEW to Ring of Honor, which sucks a bit because I feel like they never recovered from the fucking awful squash job they got off MJF.
Yeah, I'm still mad about that.
That was atrocious. And 2, they were really fucking cool.
Wasn't there because I saw there was for 1 week there was a video where they got didn't Elias join them for a week, or they did a skit with Elias, and that just went nowhere.
Well, he got signed by TNA, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go with TNA and maybe do some stuff there.
Yeah,
because they put him with Jake Roberts, which is weird because they don't really need to, because Vincent's a really good talker.
Yeah.
So that felt a bit extraneous, and then they did it. Then Lance Archer was there for 5 minutes, and then the Don Callis family took him. So they kind of just didn't have this direction, which is a shame, because they don't need a big gimmick, they don't need a faction, they just need give them a fucking mic, let Dutch squash someone, and let Vincent talk for a bit, and then they're fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
It very much feels like the gimmick they had, because it's very their gimmick's always been very I don't want to say cult leader-esque, but
it's
know what I mean?
It's kind of Charles Manson, isn't it?
I was going to say it's very Charles Manson.
But I just feel like something like that doesn't work in AEW these days, if you know what I mean. AEW is not one for these massive those outland. I say they're not one for outlandish gimmicks. They've had the fucking Outrunners go for a tag title win, but that was very much a meme thing, and we've not seen them since, right? I don't know, I don't know if it's there's a presentation that AEW is kind of going for these days where things like that don't work, or
if it does feel like in the last sort of 12 months, they've, with a few notable exceptions, like you said, the Outrunners, although like you say, they featured them as a sort of flavor of the month meme. It does feel like with like Will Ospreay, Josh Alexander, Speedball, it's back to more of a sort of sports style presentation, and not just, oh look, here's a cult leader coming to indoctrinate people.
It's like even the House of Black, like they very much tone down like the dark vibe. You know what I mean? Like the spooky
They
vibes.
were less. They ended up being like less magic and more just like a little bit sinister.
Yeah, exactly that, and like especially now, like the Hounds of Hell. Is it the Hounds of Hell they're going by? Or
Hounds of Hell. Yeah,
Hounds
these
of
just
Hell.
like these just like what if some like metalheads were wrestlers, and it's like
Basically, yeah, and
Yeah.
like they're really fucking hard as fuck, and they're going to kill the shit out of you. I can't really think of like the most outlandish gimmicks you've got in AEW right now is Tony Storm, like
Orange.
who's making that work. Orange, but Orange has always done it in a very kind of like.
But even then, he's also like toned it down a bit, and it's like become like he's more serious.
The whole
now.
point of Tony though is it's she's doing this to herself because she's delusional that she's like past it. That was her whole thing, wasn't it? She thought she'd like come and gone, and then she was like, oh no, I'm timeless, and then she deluded herself into thinking that she was from this like golden era.
So like it just doesn't. I don't know. I think maybe like those big kind of gimmicks don't swing as much, or like I don't know. But they've got to be presented in a certain way that people like go with it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's got to be like because they try to like explain everything, don't they? They don't say like, oh yeah, this is just magic, or this is just like whatever. Like there's always like, oh, this is how it could feasibly have happened. Like even have like Ian Riccaboni saying like why this is Sarah's favorite thing. Ian Riccaboni explaining why there's certain things under the ring because the production team left them there or something, not just because they need to be adored or there, but because I don't know, it just happened.
And if there's something there that shouldn't be there, it's because the wrestlers put it there on purpose.
Yeah,
it's a. Yeah, it is a shame. No, I think the Righteous definitely had legs.
they were entertaining and they were over at one point as well. Like the fans were really behind them, and then like you say, that MJF thing just fucking killed them, stone dead on the main roster. There was no coming back from that. It was a travesty.
I'm still mad about it. Right, and then we've got the WWE ones as well.
Yeah, sadly, WrestleMania has come and gone, and it's time for the annual culling of talent. Where WWE will announce record profits and then stop paying a load of people at the same time.
And also buy a new company. They will buy a new company and then release a bunch of people afterwards.
Oh man, imagine being kicked out of a company to make Alberto Del Rio.
That's upsetting. So we heard first off we had this wasn't within the actual round of releases. It just kind of got sort of confirmed where Shotzi put like a video up on her Instagram a couple of days before that, doing a promo, and then it basically come out that her contract wasn't being renewed. So she's taking bookings now. I don't know when it actually expires, but she's said she's been very vocal about I'm going to be available soon.
And having matches longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great little bit of shade on the way out. Like, I can't wait to wrestle for much longer than 3 minutes. I was like, oh Jesus.
I hope her first match on the Indies is against Dark Sheik, because that would make me happy.
Oh yeah.
And because
do it back in Hudson.
Yeah, because Dark Sheik trained played the part in training Shotzi as well, didn't she?
Yeah.
So that'd be nice.
When me and Aaron a couple of years ago, we watched a Stoner Brothers match for Hoodslam, and we did a watch along. And one of the Stoner Brothers actually commented on our YouTube video and said, "Oh, thanks for checking us out. Check out more because they trained Shotzi, amongst other people. They sort of got their break in Hoodslam, which is go and check out Hoodslam if you like. If you want to talk about batshit wrestling, watch some Hoodslam.
I hope we get that Cocaine Bear versus Drugs Bunny and Mystery Wrestling. That's all I want.
Drugs Bunny for Mystery Wrestling. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I want. So then we got this was it Friday night?
I think so.
Yeah. We got an announcement of like the first round of releases. So Shayna Baszler, Braun Strowman, Dakota Kai, Caden Carter and Katana Chance from the main roster. From NXT, Gigi Dolan, Cora Jade, Gallus, Jakara Jackson, Eddie Thorpe, Javier Bernal, Ora Mensa, and Riley Osborne as well. So yeah, that's
apparently Danny Palmer as well has gone in some capacity.
Yeah, she's a fucking crank, so don't worry about her. She's the one who said that that the Liberals were controlling the fucking Hurricanes to stop Republicans from voting. So
I remember that.
I think it's okay. She doesn't have a job.
They released someone who's all up in Trump's politics from a TKO.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You saw the PR week they had previously. They're all up for that
Was
shit
it was
these
it Eddie
days.
Thorpe who criticised Trump and then got released? I know someone did.
Well, the thing going around is a lot of this class of people have been released, and it's not a good look considering they didn't do anything for LGBT History Month. Is a lot of these people are part of the community, and it's like, cool. Yeah. You've just had a week where you've had your wrestlers and people promoting Trump, but you know what I mean, being like, yeah, essentially saying they voted for them, and then you've got Cena saying how much he loves Vince McMahon, and it's like, oh yeah, no, you're really showing your fucking colours these days as a company, aren't you? Like,
so it's also very interesting that on I've not seen all of it. I've seen a clip on Collision, just gone. Tony Storm made a very clear.
Oh yeah, she like ran around the arena and basically loudly proclaimed, "I'm here, I'm queer."
Yeah,
and it's like, yes, like there is a like,
and she got a monster pop for it, which makes me happy.
Yeah.
Like,
and then obviously all the dickheads online were like, "But she's married to Juice Robinson." Mate, Juice Robinson's the most bisexual energy man I've ever met in my entire life.
Like it is one of those things where it's just kind of like, it's, yes, obviously AEW is owned by a billionaire and there should be no such thing as fucking billionaires, but it's nice knowing that it looks like there are companies who are like, fuck this nonsense, you know. Like there's it is gross the way that WWE have kind of since being bought by TKO, they've always been this way, but it's very, very open these days. The mask is gone.
Yeah, the mask has come off.
Which is wild to say since Vince no longer part of the company, but the mask is even more off these days.
But he was the bad one, Ollie. It's all good now because he was the bad one. Sorry. That's what WWE fans will claim.
I mean, the other thing as well, which obviously you mentioned about them not doing anything for LGBTQ month, they didn't also do anything for the first time in their history, not do anything for Black History Month. Which, I mean, Triple H is really not doing himself any favours with those rumours, is he, guys?
The wild thing is...
They probably squashed some black wrestlers on TV.
The wild thing is, like, this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Like, if you've looked at the UFC and the history of the UFC and, like, what they've done to businesses, what they've done to their talent, they're infamous at underpaying them, infamous for, like, being horrible to some of the talent, the way they treat talent, especially on the way out. Like, Dana White's been the fucking face of that company for years, and he is this is a dude that's literally on camera slapping his wife. Like, this, none of the antics that WWE have been open and masked off with these days should be a surprise to anybody since they've been bought by TKO, and it's just, it's gross. It's fucking gross.
It's upsetting.
Let's not forget, he slapped his wife and then launched Slapfight. which if you're being cynical, he might have done. So if you Google Dana White slap, then that's the first thing that comes up on Google.
And he insists it's going to be in the brand new fucking sport, and they're buying a fucking boxing league, as like starting a boxing promotion. It's just that one company should not own this much of the entertainment business, and what they've done with AAA. And I mean, give it 2 to 5 years, Noah will probably be the next one to go.
Yep.
Or Marigold, one of the two. Yeah. It's gross. It's real fucking gross. And like seeing especially the likes of Dakota Kai getting released and Shayna Baszler getting released, like those two immediately are going to get picked up for like places. Like, I'd be shocked if AEW is not looking at either Shayna or Dakota.
With Dakota, when she got released last time, apparently she was really, really close to going to either Stardom or AEW. And then
why not both?
Yeah, and then she got the offer to return to WWE, like before she'd signed, and decided to go back to them instead. So
that was a damage control thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be surprised if she does go to AEW, because I imagine they probably retained the interest in her and thought,
Jay, you know what I want, right?
Is it Shayna and Claudio playing Warhammer in the Death Riders?
I just want Shayna and Claudio to do Warhammer things together in AEW.
Well,
Claudio's doing like 40k cosplay like every week. Shayna has Shayna did an actual Horus Heresy based heel turn
Yeah.
through the act of wrestling. It made me care about Ronda Rousey for like more than 5 minutes.
Shayna Baszler dresses up in a Warhammer 40k cosplay every other fucking every chance she gets.
Yeah,
Like there's always some kind of reference to Core Nuzzle.
But she did a series of matches. So I don't want to talk about it too much. It's WWE and fuck them. But she did like a series when she was tagging with Ronda Rousey. She had like 3 matches, and like the first match she wore like so they were called the Lunar Balls. They were all white, and then the next week it was like the turquoise, which is the Sons of Horus, and like they were like the dudes who turned heel on the Imperium basically. And so she was if you're a Warhammer fan, she was telegraphing this heel turn through a ring gear, and then she turned on Ronda, and then the match they had against each other, she was wearing Black Legion, which is what they became when they were like fully evil. So it was like I was just losing my fucking shit. Sarah didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. I was trying to explain it to her.
The deep dive that is fashion and wrestling.
Now every time Shane is on like well not anymore, but every time she's on the pay-per-view, she'd like send me a picture of like or show me a picture on her Instagram like, which one was this? What does this mean? Like what does this mean she's gonna do? Because she was Death Guard in the last one. For Bloodsport she was Death Guard, which they are my fucking boys. So yeah.
Yeah.
I seriously do hope like both of them like AEW, like they've been the women's division AEW this past year has really picked up, and those two would just slot so right in.
Yeah.
Well, Shayna Baszler could go right into that. She can go right in with Marina in the Death Riders, and they can start fucking people up.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Like that,
they're friends anyway. Let's just fucking put them in there and have them just murder people.
I mean, even Ronda went to ROH for Marina, right? Like,
yeah.
And Billy Starks dropped her on a stupid head. It was beautiful.
Absolute queen shit.
My favorite wrestler, Billy Starks, just for that. But yeah,
a bit of other news as well. So Dave Meltzer reported that apparently the feeling within WWE was that especially the NXT releases, they hadn't worked hard enough, or they weren't improving fast enough, or something along those lines. Because they said a few years ago that there's going to be like 6-month reviews in NXT, and if you're not like making the grade, you're out regardless. This prompted some sort of biting remarks from Gigi Dolan and Cora Jade, respectfully.
Rightly fucking so.
Yeah. Basically saying like they work out like 3 times a week when they're not on the road like wrestling all the time and shit like this. And then Cora Jade made a remark about being body shamed by her co-workers and bosses while in the performance center.
Shock horror.
Yeah. Which if you follow a friend of the podcast, Phil Lindsay, he mentioned that Athena made the exact same comments when she left as well. So he's like, it's been there plain as day. It's just you're not paying enough attention. It just sucks. It really does. One thing that to kind of go with what Meltzer said, because obviously a lot of people were like, oh, Meltzer's just chatting shit, and it's like, well, actually, Sean Ross Sapp did kind of say he didn't outright confirm it. He just said that he hadn't heard the report for that specific reason for anyone, but the cuts usually come down to either they're not working hard enough in training or they're not like progressing in an upward enough trajectory as a talent. So,
but in other news, apparently WWE are bringing back Eva Marie. So, yeah,
and I've just bought back Miro. I mean Rusev.
So I guess it's all about talent and work rate, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And
Cora Jade's another one I can see like easily getting picked up, like even if it's TNA or AEW or like.
I see the thing with AEW is that she had shit talk someone in AEW. I can't remember.
God, I remember that. Yeah, there was something bad remark said like a couple of years back, right?
Yeah. So I don't know whether she'd be someone they'd look at, but
her and Darby had a Twitter thing about because Darby said something like she couldn't skateboard, and then she was like, "Yeah, but you're a sex offender." So
yeah,
that might have been it.
Words, not I'm paraphrasing there, but
yeah, and yeah, I don't know. She's someone I think is very talented.
All I'll say is I'm really glad that like these people are entering into a much healthier wrestling environment than they would have been maybe 10 years ago. So there are much more options. Like even Matt Cardona was out there on Twitter the other day saying like just get out there and work and kill it on the indies.
He's the fucking king of that. Like his entire work ethic has gotten to the point that he doesn't need the big companies. He hasn't needed the big companies. He's made himself the king of the indies. Right? That was his like entire gimmick.
Yeah. Well, he's literally out there saying to people, look, just get wrestling, get in the ring, work hard, get your bookings, and make your money. Which is fair enough. All right, you're not going to have the sort of the top class facilities you're going to have in the WWE, but at the same time, you're not going to get binned off 2 weeks after they make record-breaking profits. So
like this feel like this, especially this right now, the wrestling industry, I couldn't feel healthier, I think, in a way, like, because there is so many places to go, and it's crazy to me to hear that people say, oh, you hear the people on Die Hard WWE or the Die Hard AEWs being like wanting the other company to die, and it's like, no, both companies existing makes everything fucking better. TNA existing makes wrestling scene better.
Well,
like,
look
the things that make it worse is when companies like AAA get bought up, and then it's like there's less space, like there's less spaces, it's all under the same one company. Like, having multiple people out there with multiple places to go just makes everything better. And like, having, you say, like, mystery wrestling being a thing, there's a bunch of it, like HOG, there's
Pro,
Defy, like so many places out there that
Revolver,
it feels
wrestling.
like wrestling in the UK, like Rev Pro these days, it's getting better again. Like, the more places there are, the better the whole landscape is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Especially as well, like, you look at when obviously after WWE like killed WCW and ECW, and you look at how stagnant the wrestling scene was for such a long time.
Yeah,
you have to go back 10 years to see how stagnant the wrestling scene was. Like,
5 for AEW, if you think about it.
Yeah, like
that announcement, like, strapped a rocket ship to it.
I mean, if you want to see how good the wrestling scene is currently, Rev Pro just booked Mercedes Moné in fucking Doncaster.
Yeah.
Doncaster.
I wonder if she got a picture by the Big Asda like Tanahashi did. That's all I want to know.
Like, we're getting regular shows in the big fucking show. Fucking Wembley was 2 shows in the UK at Wembley for the last 2 years back to back. Other countries are now getting big pay-per-views on the WWE. Like,
they've just announced Crown Jewel's going to Australia.
Yep, like, it could not be better and healthier right now.
Yeah. And there's lots of very good alternatives.
Exactly, and like,
well. So
if you don't like
everyone.
one product, if there's one type of product you don't like, there's bound to be 10 others that you do. You just have not heard of them yet.
Yeah.
100%.
Just watch wrestling that you enjoy. Go out and find it. Watch it, whether it's local stuff, whether it's like mystery wrestling, whether it's one of the big ones, whether it's New Japan, whether it's Tokyo Joshi Pro, whether it's Choco Pro, whether it's whatever the fuck it does it for you. Just go and find it. It's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Your next favorite wrestler is literally waiting to be discovered, and they're not even in AEW, WWE, or TNA yet. Like, yeah. It's amazing time to be a wrestler.
Speaking of UK wrestlers who've just been signed as well, Holly Hudson's finally
been wrestler.
Holly Hudson's finally been signed and debuted to TNA, and so is Myla Grace. So that's nice.
I'd heard that they'd been signed. I heard they'd been signed for like a while, but it's been like visa issues, right? Like,
yeah. So Harley got signed the same time as Leon Slater. But
worryingly, it was right around the time that Scott D'Amore got fired. So I was like, "Oh shit!"
Apparently, Gail Kim was pushing to the both of them.
Gail
Kim has since been released.
And then Gail Kim got fired. Yeah. So.
But yeah, Harley made a debut for TNA this week. So that's nice. And I hope she does very well because we're all real proud of her. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that's.
There's some AEW stuff. So AEW are running a week of shows in the ECW arena.
Yeah,
they're doing like a whole string of shows, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like that residency they did in Texas last year, isn't it?
And that residency was really cool. Like, what they did with the set and stuff like that, having both Ring of Honor and AEW there was fucking banger.
Yeah, but I think they're doing it's Dynamite as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Dynamite, Collision. There's a whole host of them being done at the arena.
Yeah, I wonder if that means that Philly's getting All Out because it's around that time.
So it is. I've just got up the poster here. AEW the 2300. It's 1, 2, 3 Dynamites, 3 Collisions, and Death Before Dishonor.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay, Death Before Dishonor and the ECW arena is gonna fucking bang. That's gonna be so hard.
Yep. So yeah, it's all end of August through to the start of September.
Also, recently AEW also announced they're doing some shows in Detroit, and it's going to feature Rhino.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see that. He's got to kill Max Caster, surely. He's got
the
Max Caster's open challenge. Rhino, bang.
All I want, I put this on Bluesky the other day. all I want from Max Caster's open challenge is for him to do one at Forbidden Door and Murder Grand I come out. That's all. That's all I want. Caster to come out, do an open challenge, Kaze Nina right here, and he just gets killed to death by Minoru Suzuki.
That'd be so good.
As a treat for me.
So good.
Just having a look at the dates of that thingy. Oh, here we go. So, interestingly enough, for those keeping track, the Monday after Death Before Dishonor is when Athena hits 1,000 days as Ring of Honor World Champion.
Oh,
Is
shit.
she losing it at Death Before Dishonor?
Or she retains and then... I can see maybe that being where she wrestles Mercedes again.
Ooh, yeah.
Mercedes, like having Mercedes beat her before she hits 1,000, Mercedes taking the title off her.
Or alternatively, have Athena give Mercedes her first AEW loss in to then go and hit 1,000.
Yep.
Because Billy Starks is who I think should be the person to dethrone Athena.
I mean, there's definitely been shout for it like literally when they last faced, right? The last year,
last two, yeah.
Yeah, like it's been Billy Starks twice now.
Yeah, I think they're gonna try and do a trilogy of matches for them. Although that being said, I was going to say at Final Battle, but it would be very cool if they actually put that on like All Out.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty sweet. But we'll see. Either way, it's just it's something that's ingrained in my memory that the 8th of September is when Athena hits 1,000 days as Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. But yeah, have we got anything else, Ben?
No, I think we're pretty much done, unless anyone has any super big announcements they want to make.
Yeah, that's a good segue. Ollie, would you like to tell us about Liverpool Games Fest?
Absolutely. So Liverpool's Games Fair, it's happening on Saturday, July 19th. It is a all-day board gaming event happening the weekend before Pride. This is Liverpool Games Fair, GAYMES. It's because me and two other people that are running it, we kind of been running the CLAMS events. So that's the Clock Tower, Liverpool and Merseyside, the Clock Tower events for the last 2 years now. And the community we've got in CLAMS is a real queer-led, thriving community. And we really want to do something to celebrate that and also celebrate the wider board gaming scene, the queer board gaming scene in Liverpool, in the Wirral, in Merseyside, and even around to wider parts in Manchester and other parts of the north. And so we thought, why not see if we can create this big all-day celebration? We've got a massive open gaming space at the Blackie Community Arts Centre in Liverpool, which is a really beautiful venue, and we've hosted a couple of smaller events there, but we've got the whole run of the place this time around. So we've got a big open gaming hall for about 200-300 people. We've got rooms for RPGs, rooms for Blood on the Clock Tower. We're going to have a big traders space, and as well we've got a 150-seat theatre that we're making use of as well down in the basement of the venue, where we are talking with some really cool acts to do live shows on the day. When's this going out? By the way,
we'll probably have it out for the weekend.
Okay, cool. Then, like I said, I'm not going to say who because we're looking to announce some of those live acts in the next week. So probably won't have announced them before this goes out. But if
we are doing another podcast together though, next week or the week after. Cool. So
perfect.
We'll have that on that next one.
You will. I'll be able to talk out who precisely is going to be with us for the live shows, but. How to put this? If you're fans of watching Blood on the Clock Tower, you're going to be in for a treat. It's what I'm going to say.
Amazing. And we'll put all the links to how the tickets are on sale yet, are they? It's just
tickets. We are looking to have tickets go on sale in the next 2 weeks. Cool. You can sign up to the wait list to find out precisely when they're going on sale, as well as when we're getting the RPG schedules up, when we're getting the gaming schedules up. We've got a board games library provided by Dice and Pins, who are a board game cafe out in the Wirral. If you want to find out everything and keep up to date, go to liverpoolgamesfair.co.uk. That's Liverpool Games Fair, GAYMES. And also we're on Instagram, Facebook, and Bluesky. Sign up to the waitlist, and you'll find out first and foremost when and what is happening.
Yeah, awesome. I don't know about Ben, but I'll definitely be there. then we're probably going to book it off work, aren't you, mate?
I will book it off work this
Yeah.
week.
So yeah, we'll be there. You can either play I imagine Faye's probably going to be at that as well, so you can play Blood on the Clock Tower with us. I imagine we'll do that. And
if Jay says he's the mayor, fucking kill him.
How dare you? How dare you? That is completely and utterly slanderous, and you'll be hearing from my lawyers.
For anyone who doesn't know, right on the fence, me and Jay, we met Ollie through playing Blood on the Clock Tower.
Yeah.
We just turned up randomly to his CLAMS events about a year or so ago.
Yeah.
And
like when you're running them at the Ship in Mitre, right? Like
Yeah.
you came to some of the first events we were running there.
In the upstairs room, yeah.
Yeah, little upstairs room of a pub where there was like 30 odd people, and now we're running
no space for that now. It's got to be bigger venues.
so I think the last of like we're having to like put capacity on some of our spaces because we're getting like into like the 60s, closer to the 80s when it comes to venue numbers right now. So yeah, we're looking to do a big 200-300 person event for Liverpool Games Fair, and if it all goes well on the Saturday the 19th, you'll be seeing more of these happen in the future. So maybe weekend long events.
And they're great events as well. And if you listen to this and you're a wrestling fan, I know being a wrestling fan sometimes can be a little bit isolating. You feel like you don't really have like people to talk to. The great thing about Blood on the Clock Tower is it's a game that encourages social interaction. It encourages to talk to people. It's an incredible way to make friends. We've met so many amazing people through playing it. And we made really good friends with people. We literally went down to London with Ollie and went all in together. So
yeah, absolutely.
So if you want to just come out and chat to people and play a fun game and get one of us murdered, then by all means come and play some Blood on the Clock Tower with us, because it's super good fun, super good way to make mates. Yeah, and it's super good way to find cool people.
And if you want to play it with us before then as well, we do games on our Discord every now and again when we can get the numbers. So yeah, join our Discord. But yeah, with that being said, thank you for joining us, Ollie. Go
always
check out Liverpool Games Fair, everyone. And yeah, we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.